He's long been respected for his guitar playing, having performed with Garth Brooks and the Dixie Chicks. His last album, Golden Road, established Keith Urban as a singer-songwriter as well. Now with his new release, Be Here, he shows us why he's country music's hottest rising star. Here is Keith Urban. Keith Urban, great to meet you.
Yeah, Alec, nice to meet you too.
Thanks for playing on our show.
Thank you for having us.
Congratulations on your nomination. In just a few weeks, the Country Music Association will give out a lot of awards, and you're nominated for Male Vocalist of the Year. How's that feel?
Daunting.
Really? Why?
Yeah. Oh, it's just it's a real honor to be in that category.
The new CD is called Be Here. You're currently in the middle of a massive tour, a lot of dates between now and December. This is the first time you've headlined. What's the real difference for you between opening for somebody and being the headliner?
Just stretching out a little more, you know, a longer show, and you get to sort of take people on a bit of a journey instead of trying to cram all your songs into 20 minutes.
And playing off the audience. I mean, you know, here we had a lovely crew here, but you know, playing here and then playing in front of a couple of thousand people, what does that really give you?
Oh God, yeah, it's a huge part of the cycle. You know, you give it to them, they give it back, and this wonderful energy cycle takes place.
Let's talk about the new CD, Be Here. I don't want to get too Oprah on you, but if I understand it right...
You can give me a car, though. That would be good.
No giving away a car, but a little psychological maybe. It's about living in the moment, being here, being not fearing the past and not fearing the future. Do I have it? Is that the heart of it?
Yeah, pretty much just being in the moment, just being. It's. I think we're so consumed with tomorrow and next week and things we've got to do, and we carry around a lot of yesterday, and we rarely are actually in the moment at any given time. When you can actually do that whether it be meditation or just acknowledging that, oh, I drifted away, here I am, you know, and be in the moment, it's quite powerful.
How do you do that? Is that a spiritual thing for you, or is it a physical thing for you?
Yeah, I think it's just a spiritual thing, just actually recognizing that you're not in the moment, you know, and the minute that you recognize it, then you're back in the moment again.
I forgot, what were you saying?
Exactly.
Just kidding. You've got a great example of that in one of your songs on the CD, Days Go By. You have this great image of, you can give me the lyric, but putting your hand out the window and the cars going by as if they were the days going by.
Yeah.
Tell me about that song.
Well, yeah, I think God, man, all the technological advances we've, you know, come to expect and live with are supposed to buy us all this time, but all we do with the extra time is do more work, and, you know, seems like we're always planning to live our life down the track instead of right now, and it's just sort of a rally cry to like shuttle the white noise out for a moment and actually live life, because this is it.
Maybe there's a story here. I know some songwriters like to talk about songs, others don't. You can tell me if you do or you don't, but Live to Love Another Day. You want to tell me about that?
Yeah, it's I wrote that with Darryl Brown. Darryl wrote Raining on Sunday on the Golden Road record, and You'll Think of Me. And he's a great writer. We were actually working on another song, and we sort of took a dinner break, and we wrote that little sort of as a sidebar, sort of we were in a bit of a rut, so we sort of wrote that and then put that aside and got back to the song at hand, and we thought it was just this cute little ditty, you know, that was just sort of get ourselves motivated back into this, and whatever that song was fell by the wayside, and this became the actual song.
Breakfast with the Arts now returns with Keith Urban. Is there a way you could describe your own style, or are you too close to it?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think of it in those terms, I guess. I just get to the heart of the matter as best I can, you know. And you run the gamut of all emotions. I mean, there's some really simple songs like that, you know. I'm sort of starting to reconnect with simplicity again. As a writer, you sometimes think you've got to complicate everything. It's got to be so lyrically dramatic and brilliant, but you know, sometimes you just want a cheeseburger.
Well, the last CD the critics said was very personal. Is this more personal for you?
Probably because I'm a little more comfortable in the studio and really just more comfortable with myself. Is that you constantly straddle that balance between accepting yourself but not so much that you stop evolving, and but not being so hard on yourself either that you just sort of stagnate. So I'm learning to accept myself a little more.
And Better Life, what should we know about that?
I wrote Better Life with Richard Marx, which is an unusual sort of pairing of the two of us, but I went out to his house in Chicago, and the groove came, and then I picked up a banjo, as you do, as I do anyway. And
I don't, but
yeah, come to Nashville, you will.
All right.
But I love it. I love banjo, and I love taking it to a sort of a different rhythmic sort of place.
I grew up in Texas, so I heard a lot of country music growing up, and I have to say your accent is not what I heard growing up in Texas. I think we should probably explain how a kid from New Zealand / Australia ended up in American country music. I was talking to your mom before you came out, and I know that she had a lot of records and listened to a lot of the radio. Is that where it started for you?
Yeah, definitely. My dad's record collection, well, both of them really, but and it was all American country, Charlie Pride, Don Williams, lots of Don Williams, Glenn Campbell, really good stuff. And so I started playing guitar at 6, and the songs I naturally learned with what I was hearing, around the house.
And why this music? Why not, why not heavy metal or something? Why do you think it was this music that attracted you?
It chose me, I'm sure if my dad grew up, if he had African music in the house, I'd be living in Zimbabwe trying to explain my case there.
and at some point, you kind of knew early on you wanted to move to Nashville.
Yeah. Well, because on the back of all the records, it was just recorded in Nashville, Tennessee. So as a little kid, you're going, well, that's where you got to go,
And did anybody go before you? Were there any other Aussies that went, oh, this is the way you go into American country music?
Well, I think, Olivia Newton-John was probably one of the earliest ones. She actually won a CMA Female Vocalist Award in '74, I think it was.
What was the big break? What was the one big moment you think that made that switch?
Just working with other writers in town and continuing to learn more about the craft of songwriting, and going and doing songwriters' nights, and doing my own little demos at home, and that's it. It's all about the songs.
Well, you're on your way, my friend. Be Here's the new CD, Keith Urban. So glad you're here.
Thanks, Elliot. Me too. Thanks for having us.